What are you accomplishing by? We're going to talk about how amazing it is, but then what? Like, if you're not getting stuff done,
right?
What's the point?
Like on SoundCloud, is there a way to get on the homepage of SoundCloud? Who cares?
Who cares?
Right, exactly.
We're so laser focused. We got the sniper rifle out.
Within an inch.
Within an inch.
And we're scratching our own niche.
Within a niche.
Instead of like us playing video games together, we're doing this. Right? This is how we equate it. Wait, you listen? You know, the only problem is...
Oh, you're the one.
Yeah, it's on my LinkedIn profile, though, and, like, my boss's boss just linked into me. So, like, I got to be... How you
doing?
Hello, boss. Yeah, actually, speaking of that, if Sabelico happens to be listening out there tonight, hey, man, sorry I gave you a hard time on your Facebook page today. Love you, man.
He deserved it. He always deserves it.
So on the topic of the 20% of the people that will never admit what they do. So there was an article that came out in the Detroit News today that said basically 80 some odd percent of firms that deal with IT here in the Metro Detroit area are looking to hire this year,
which is great.
But 67% of all hiring managers or people that deal like recruiters, that kind of stuff, say that there is no skilled IT talent out here in the area.
Can we just say that they're uninformed IT managers?
Oh, yeah.
I took that two different ways. One is we need .NET and mobile app dev talent. Okay, great. But they cast a wide brush on a very laser trimmed thing because there's no talent. Like, are you nuts?
Right.
And I read the comments after that article, and the first guy made a great point. He goes, 3 years ago, when you slashed all those budgets and you fired everybody, what the hell are they supposed to do? They left town. They went to Chicago. They went to
that's a good point.
To Virginia,
like these uninformed IT managers that are looking that say that there's nobody around to fill these positions.
The one they quoted was from Robert Half.
Oh, come on! It's an accounting firm,
right?
Yeah, right. But are they looking for butts and seats, or do they care if somebody's working remotely? Because to Bob's point, I mean, if all these people that were laid off 2, 3, 4 years ago have left the state or are now in Texas, California, wherever they're at, and there's open jobs here in Michigan, Metro Detroit, and if they can work remotely, boom, done. Right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately
not.
As we say, that mentality's just not there yet. But I mean,
it is for what I do.
Yeah,
but I'm a sales guy. I'm supposed to be out of the office. Right? If you are, again, though, what's the difference? If you are,
I don't know.
If you're a coder, hold on. If you're a coder and you have to do whatever your quota is, or here's your project,
right?
Who cares where you are?
Right.
You get the project done.
No, that's the logical way of thinking about it. But unfortunately, it's not the current mindset with the way things go. I mean,
because you think about your commute in the morning, you kill 2 hours of your life every day,
easily,
10 hours a week. You could be productive, right?
Right.
You would get up like me. I get up at 7:30. I grab a granola bar and a coffee, and I go up to the email. I'm productive,
and there are days when I do that.
Yeah,
there are days where literally I'll just
But there's also days I get a haircut during my lunch break, which, well,
that's just it. Like the manager that is reluctant to agree to a remote workforce or even partial remote workforce. Is scared that his employees will slack off.
Yeah,
and actually the opposite is true.
It is completely the opposite.
It's the opposite. It's those remote workers will actually overwork, and the problem is you have to actually dial them back to say, hey, look, you need to have that separation, especially if that remote worker is 100% of the time remote.
Think about when I went to Kansas City last week. If I would have tallied up my hours, I would have been at like 90 hours.
Yeah. It's right.
I had breakfast at 6. I think I started flying at 6 in the morning.
87 of that was bars.
You know what? That's
part
of my job.
But I was going to say, in his life, that's part of his job. Right?
I was getting breakfast at 6 in the morning, and we were out until midnight, 1 in the morning every night, with those ridiculous chicken wings in Kansas City.
The pterodactyl wings.
They were insane.
Isn't that like the size of your forearm?
That was like
I saw that picture. I'm like, my God.
No, it was like a king lobster tail, like 12 of them.
I didn't believe you when you said you didn't finish them.
No, I didn't. It was like $23 for 12 of them. I looked at
Oh,
him.
my God.
But he tells me, he goes, you got
a fillet for that.
He's like, you got to order this. It's the best. You got to order this. It's the best. You got to get the cheese fries. They're the best. And then the wings come afterwards. And I'm already full. And I'm
like an Italian meal.
Oh, my God, it was nuts. Yeah, the guy's name was
salad at the end.
Yeah, it was Jim Pantazzi's.
Nice.
Everywhere we ate, man, it was the best. Oh my God, I ate so good in Kansas City.
But the flip side of it though is there's always this concern. So is the is there some push out there to say, oh well, there's no talent, therefore let's bring in more H-1B workers?
That through that article, fill everybody in.
So then that
threw me a curveball.
Well, see, that's not even H-1B, so it's a totally different.
I don't know the difference.
Well, so another article that came out, in fact, 2 days ago,
work to stay here is essential H-1B.
Right, was so Snyder.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Snyder is pushing D.C. to try to basically rewrite immigration law for Detroit.
That's the next battle, by the way, for the summer.
To allow Detroit to pull in, they're called E-1Bs. I feel like
what's E-1B?
Star Wars droid robots.
Yeah, I was gonna...
it's a specific designation for like higher advanced degrees, that kind of stuff.
Are they staying here, or are they
well, but that's
with intent to leave or intent to stay?
Intent to stay. So
all
I mean
right.
they're all intent to stay, but it.
So you mean wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me you're going to get a bunch of guys from India living on Chalmers and Dexter?
Well,
they already do that. I mean,
well, not only that, but you're basically asking them to reassign your entire allotment for the entire United States to Detroit. Because
never going to happen.
It's not. It's not.
It's admirable. It's admirable what he's trying to do. I hear it.
Yeah, it's a great bar conversation.
Yeah,
but
well, he's trying to drum up conversation. Exactly what I mean. Us having this conversation has kind of proven the point. But he's trying to attract attention to the Michigan workforce and the need for workers, and to jumpstart people to get interested, because if you got a typical worker that's lazy, lackadaisical, or just getting into the workforce, if they have the sense that, oh my gosh, now there's going to be competition from India, I better get off my duff.
Let me ask the $1 million question.
Interviewing.
Let me ask the $1 million question. There's unemployment. What's real unemployment in the city or the state is like?
In the state or in the country?
Isn't like 12% like real? Like
yeah, it's like
12 to 16. Like,
yeah, it's in the high teens.
Yeah,
you have companies in like New Horizons and in Mishworks offering free training for IT guys till the cows come home.
Detroit Labs is offering paid internships.
There's
no excuse.
That's what I'm saying. I think, and then they're saying there's no talent, and everyone's telling everyone, if you want a job, like get in, go in IT. And not everyone's cut out for IT.
Nope,
I get
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
World needs ditch diggers too.
Right.
Thank you, Judge Smales. I get that, but you would think that there'd be a few that are doing something right now in like a dead-end career or something that they don't like.
I honestly think part of it is the entitlement mentality. I still think there is some of that left over, where if you got somebody that was used to getting $80K paycheck, and if they
don't want to take the step
and they don't want to take the step back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you look at, not even necessarily are you cut out for IT. It's look at folks that have come, and there are people floating around our events, not even necessarily holding out for a management gig, but they're looking for a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche position.
That's all they're interested in. They don't want to retrain themselves.
Right. Go elsewhere. Go to Detroit Labs. And hop. Which, by the way, phenomenal for them for getting that out there.
Kudos to them.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's a paid internship program. You learn how to code while you're there, and then at the end of it, ta-da, job.
Speaking of which, I want you to have a conversation with my 9-year-old next time about software development. I think she's right close to what you guys know. Yeah, no, I got her on that I think we talked about last show.
Get her on iOS or get her on Android development.
No, learn.code.org.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
that's awesome.
She's on like the 60th. She blew through it. And she's talking to me about like, oh yeah, and this is how you do the algorithm. And she went over my head on stuff, and I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, and it's so like, it's using Angry Birds, and like, because like Google engineers did it, and they used it like kid-friendly games.
Yeah.
Like, and my 7-year-old's gone. She's like halfway through it. So
nice.
I mean, again, when did you learn?
That's the whole case. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's the whole case for women in technology too. I mean, is that the whole point of the whole learn code thing? Is to not just to get the predominantly male population into it, but get everyone interested.
Well, to me, it was just
technology
like
and code.
To me, like doing this was just like piano lessons, right? It's just another thing that you have. And whether she wants to do that or not, she wants to be a librarian, go.
Didn't Bill Gates have that whole everyone should learn how to code type of thing?
Right. And then you've got states like Kentucky now that are saying, okay, you know what, your foreign language requirement, because they have that built into the curriculum, can be met by coding classes.
That's very cool.
They're basically treating learning programming now
as
as a
French
language.
or Spanish, other than when you're trying to read stuff at Home Depot on the second sign. You know what I mean?
Does your 9-year-old ever say, "Daddy, I want to be X when I grow up"?
She keeps saying she wants. No, she's getting to the conversations now of, "Daddy, what did dentists make?"
Right.
And I'm like, a lot.
Nice.
And she goes, well, a lot like Uncle Mike because he's got a bigger house than this one. I go, Uncle Mike's a dentist. She goes, I want to be a dentist.
So where is she getting that concept of value for profession type of thing? Is that like her kids, like friends talking, or is she over here like you and your wife talking? Or?
I'm a dickhead sometimes. No, she goes, I want to be a pet sitter when I grow up. I go, there's no money in it. And
well, because the reason I'm asking is my daughter is like, I want to be a teacher when I grow up. I'm like, that's admirable,
right?
You know what? Here's the thing. Great to be. You know what I heard the teachers are doing now? There's websites out there where teachers are making like 6 figures alone.
Doing what?
By selling their lesson plans to other teachers.
Yeah.
So they'll write a
homeschooler or something, or
no, either a homeschooler or a teacher that isn't as astute in writing as this one.
Got it.
And she'll put it out online and sell it for $4 or $5, and she'll get it.
God bless the American entrepreneur.
But what I'm saying is, when teachers complain about their salary, I remember there was a teacher in my high school that sold worms in the summer. He had a worm farm, but this guy made like couple $100,000 a year selling worms.
Yeah, way more selling worms than a teacher.
But what I'm saying is, if you
which is kind of sad, but
if you want it, it's there. If you sit and look at the wall and complain, I don't care what you do. You're
not going to solve your problem.
There's a way to get, like, I always tell the story. My grandpa came here with $40 from Germany.
Right.
Dug ditches, sold tomatoes at the corner, ran moonshine. Like, you did whatever you got to do, and that got instilled into me. Where me and my wife, we still have second jobs.
Right.
My wife works at a call center on the weekend. She's got a master's degree, for crying out loud. I DJ.
Right.
I do little side stuff all the time, making money.
Well, heck, Dave and I were in IT. We both have 2 jobs.
Right.
I mean, everyone I know that's comfortable.
Right.
Has looked past what the little bubble is.
Yeah.
Right. So
you have to.
You do, but again, there's so much opportunity out there, and I don't want to say it boggles my mind, but just go get it. It's there. It's sitting, staring at you.
The generation behind us, but before
they think it's going to get handed to them.
Before your kids, that's where the entitlement mentality is.
Yeah, they think it's going to get handed to them. Nothing's going to get handed to them. Yeah. It drives me nuts, and I read it all the time on Reddit. And it's this mentality like, oh, trickle-down economics really worked. Like, wait, when you sit and wait for it to come to you, yeah, that's the problem.
Right.
Like, it's got nothing to do with the economic scale. So.
All right, well, hey, we're bumping up against a break.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be one of those ones that flies.
Yeah, it's going to fly.
I want to talk more about the Snyder stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get back into it.
This is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
This is the IT in the D, only on RawRadioX.com.
Heute zieh ich meine Runden, seh die Welt in Trümmern liegen, hab 'n Luftballon gefunden, denk an dich und lass ihn fliegen.
Thank you, Dave, for using the German version, not the
that was all for Bob.
Version.
That was the Germans bomb Pearl Harbor quote. I kind of had to.
That was totally awesome, by the way.
Welcome back to the IT and the D Show. This is segment 2.
He's on a roll.
Here live at Raw Radio Studios.
Forget it, he's rolling.
Beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. I found a great Bluto doll.
That's every night with Bob. Forget it, he's rolling.
He's on a roll.
I was at the flea market and they had like this amazing Bluto figure.
College.
Yeah, exactly. I had to buy it. I'll show you one day.
0.0.
Great story, Bob.
So yeah, back to the
He
whole
has no
Snyder.
grade point
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's run through the basics. So it's 313.
Yeah, this is the IT and the D Show.
Yeah, 0107. You can hit us on Twitter at IT and the D. You can catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/IT and the D.
Stands for Information Technology in the Detroit. If anyone, that's right. Anyone playing at home. We never said that before. Like, what's IT stand for? I don't know. It's crazy.
I thought it was just it. It's in the D.
It's in the D.
Rose. I've been listening to 106.
That's what my doctor said.
I've been listening to 106.7 The D lately, actually. No, I have.
That's one of the few stations that's actually left. I'm still bitter and cranky that 93.1 went like Nashville.
Yeah, did that go country, by the way? I'm driving a rental car, and I don't have my Sirius XM.
Right. It went country at Christmas time.
So I'm regulated to FM, so I'm I had to remember what stations are just right. So I'm like,
I got rid of
clicking
Sirius.
through.
Remember how we talked about getting rid of cable and stuff?
So
I got rid of Sirius.
I'm
finally.
clicking through, and I landed on 106.7 is the D. I'm like, okay, this is a new station, and I flipped back to 93.1 because I thought that was
Doug FM.
Doug FM. Is country now?
Yeah.
WTF.
It's Nashville.
No, but since I got the TuneIn radio app,
right,
on my
you
business
did
trips,
Sirius.
I
Wow.
did Sirius. Well, no, because I can put it on 97.1, stream Bluetooth.